Hello there, all of you very beautiful peoples of the interwebs, and welcome to Music Time! La 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 la, Music Time! La 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 la, Music Time! La 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 la, Music Time! Somehow these keep getting worse and worse, but yes, this is Music Time, which for those of you who don't know, is the time where I talk about music. And today, if you're a My Chemical Romance fan, today is a very exciting day, but also a very sad day, because today is the day that the final part of Conventional Weapons is released. For those of you who don't know what Conventional Weapons is, just brief telling you what it is. 2009, My Chem recorded an album, decided to scrap it, not release it and then 2010 they released Danger Days, and they're like, oh, we're never going to release this album. Turns out they did, tricked you. And they released it in 5 parts over the course of 5 months, and singles, each single had 2 songs, and yeah, so when I first heard about Conventional Weapons, I thought, wow, this is exciting, more My Chem. It's the unreleased stuff, which I always wanted to hear, but couldn't. But, it was scrapped, so can it really be that good? Then my mind went to, oh wait, I heard, live recordings of The World is Ugly and Stay Awake, which, those were good. Sounded a lot like Black Parade, so I expected to get, like, a Black Parade 2, which, same sound, different songs. Turns out, I was wrong on really everything, because, first of all, even though they scrapped it, it's an amazing, good album, good! Secondly, because it was recorded in 2009, Bob, you know, the dude that used to play drums, is back. And you can hear, like, because the drums sound great in this. And I wish Bob was still in My Chem, but, of course, he isn't anymore. So when number 1 came out, like I said, wasn't totally sure what to expect. Like, I love My Chem, but it was the scrap stuff. But then when I listened to it, Boy Division, first song, I'm so glad they released it as the first song. The way it introduces stuff, like the intro, it just comes up at you. It screams in your face, like, you know, you're not expecting it. Like, you know, you will go to sleep that night, and then, like, Gerard will break in your house and be like, "If all my enemies," and then you're like, "Whoa, what's happening?" And then music starts playing, it's fast, and excitement. Sorry, I'm a bit hyper. But yeah, it just comes at you, like, almost out of nowhere, and you're like, wow, this is really good. And then Tomorrow's Money came right after that, and, both of those are very good. I love the lyrics in each of those. Tomorrow's Money, I prefer the lyrics in, because it just, there's something great about it, and guitar sounds great, and everything just comes together really well, and it's a fast-paced song, and yeah. One thing, if you didn't like Danger Days, but you loved the other My Chemical Romance stuff, then, good news, because you will love this album. If you love Danger Days and all of My Chem's other stuff, you will love this album, really. If you're a My Chem fan, you will love this album. But, people that didn't like Danger Days, I used to be one of you. First time I heard the album, I somehow did not like it. I remember I was talking to somebody, and my complaint about it was that it was too happy, like, and that's the worst complaint, because it's like, I hate this album, it just brings too much joy to my life. Yeah, somehow that was my complaint, and, went listen to it a few more times, loved the hell out of it. But this one does not sound like Danger Days. It sounds like some of their older stuff mixed in with a new, fresh taste. And it's fast-paced, and it's great. And then number 2 came out, which had Ambulance and Gun. And these aren't as, like, fast-paced, but they are in no way slower songs. And Ambulance, one thing I love about it is sort of like Boy Division, where I love the way it introduces itself with Ambulance. The intro isn't this thing that just comes out at you. It's this thing that, like, slowly is like, hey, wake up, listen to me, listen. It, like, slowly eases you in, and then it's like, and it gets good, and it's catchy. And also those, Gun is very good, and it's one of those songs that just gets in your head. I remember for the next, like, a week or two after, just be walking down the street being like, soon as I get my gun. It's just in my head. People looked at me weird, like, why are you getting guns? You're only, like, 16. And I was like, Time to slow things down. Shh. Just take things slow. Put that coffee down. Take some NyQuil, because it's going to get slow and relaxed. Don't take NyQuil unless you're actually sick. But, then number 3 came out, which had The World is Ugly and Light Behind Your Eyes. First of all, World is Ugly. I made a whole video. I was sort of pissed when I heard it. Disappointed, also, because it was not what I was expecting, because if you look up, like, a 2008 live recording of when they played The World is Ugly, it's a much better song. It's slower and everything, and I really didn't like the song the first time I heard it, but, and actually, made a video right after where I talked about how disappointed I was and blah blah blah. And that was my initial reaction, by the way. But after like a week or two after, you know, I listened to the song again, and I knew I wasn't expecting the studio version of the 2008 thing I heard. I was expecting what I heard before, and it's a good song. It's a good song. It's not as good, in my opinion, as what they could have done, you know, when they did do it before they played live in 2008, but it is good. And another song, which is probably in the top 3 best songs on the album, and probably also maybe in my top 10 My Chemical Romance songs of my favorites, is The Light Behind Your Eyes, which is his slowest song in the album. The guitar sounds really nice. Also, if you want to do a cover, it's fairly easy to learn, and it's just as slow. I love the lyrics, and the way Gerard sings, it's like it's very emotional. And I see a bunch of comments on YouTube, and people I've talked to said that they actually cried when listening to it. And I'm not one that cries to songs, but if there was a song that's like, Daniel, you gotta cry to a song, I choose that one. Not that I cried to this song. Anyways, so yeah, so number 3 was very good. Light Behind Your Eyes, love that. And then number 4 had Kiss the Ring and Make Room, and 2 things. Each song stands out because Kiss the Ring, when I listened to it, I was pumped up. I'm like, oh, this is great. It just comes at you. It's fast-paced. It gets you all pumped up. Makes you feel like a badass. I loved it. And then Make Room, I didn't like as much as Kiss the Ring. I just don't like the way George shouts out Make Room. It just sounds weird. And I'm not a fan. For most of the lyrics, they're like, man, not too great. And I'm not a fan of the way Gerard screams out Make Room. But something that makes this song stand out upon like the entire album is that if you listen to the song in the last minute, if you listen to Danger Days, you'll notice, hey, something very familiar. The line, everybody wants to change the world, but no one wants to die, which is awesome. It's from na 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 na. So when I listened to na 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 or whatever for the first time, I didn't think much of the lyrics, like everybody wants to change the world, but no one wants to die. I thought that's a badass lyric, but I didn't think, oh, I wonder where the origin of this lyric is. Now I know it's this song, but the cool thing is, it's an alternate version of what you hear on Danger Days, because in na 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 na, there's the, oh, by the way, the songs are totally different. I'm just talking about the lyrics. Like, the songs are not similar aside from the lyrics. But in na 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 na, probably not that many na's on the title, but there are many more in the song. You know, they go, everybody wants to change the world, but no one wants to die. That's like, wanna try. But then, in this one, it goes, everybody wants to change the world, no one wants to die. And then after that, there's an alternate lyric that goes, we ain't ever going to change the world, because we will never die. Which, that's cool, because it's an alternate path. Both are badass. And then finally, number 5 came out today with Surrender the Night and Burn Bright. And I can tell why they released this last, not because it's bad or anything, but this sounds like it's wrapping up the album, which in fact, one thing about Conventional Weapons is since it was, the way it was released is they put out singles, but they didn't put it out in the way they probably put it on the album. Instead, they just put songs that sounded similar together, grouped them together to give like each single its own little theme, which cool if you listen to them in singles, but if you want to listen to like an actual album experience, it's not the right order. And I will make a playlist of what I believe is a pretty good order to go with down below. Check it out. Anyway, so number 5 came out with Surrender the Night and Burn Bright, which actually, I was expecting so much that one of these songs would be Stay Awake, but it wasn't. Didn't come out. Very sad. I was expecting really every time one came out, I'm like, is this going to be Stay Awake? Is this going to be Stay Awake? Because I want to know the title, but I don't know it. Anyways, yeah, so Surrender the Night was interesting because it sort of originally, first 30 seconds, my impression was I don't like it, but I got into it more, and I'm like, yeah, this is good. It's probably my least favorite on the album, but it's still a good song. It's not great, it's good. So yeah, so my initial impression was it sounded like something you'd hear in like a 2005 skateboarding game, you know, playing on the radio in the back. That's sort of the impression I got, but I can't think of another way to describe it, that's it. But then, Burn Bright, which was the last song released. That song, it clearly sounds like the song that would wrap up the thing. Yeah, so, like I said, check out my playlist below of the order I recommend listening to. Also, tell me in the comments below, what do you think of Conventional Weapons? Also, what do you think of my review? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Do you think I'm a total idiot? Do you think I'm the best guy ever? just tell me in the comments below. Are there any songs you like, disliked? You looking forward to the next My Chem album that hasn't been announced really much info about except the fact that they're making it right now? Which also, great thing about conventional weapons is, you know, it feeds my second, like, stomach that's just for My Chem waitingness, you know, so I'm less hungry for the next My Chem album. It's like I digest it and I'm like, okay, I can wait a little bit longer until MCR5 comes up, but you better release it soon. Don't scrap this album or my head will explode. Anyway, so this has been Music Time. I will talk to you later. And yeah, so you've been watching Music Time! La, 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 la.